Now this video is going to be perfect for anyone that's looking to start stacking from the very beginning, or anyone that's had to sell their stack and had to restart from the very beginning. Now there's a few things that I would do differently from when I started stacking a few years ago, and I'm going to share my mistakes in this video to help those of you that are just starting stacking so that you don't make the same mistakes that I did when I first started. So let's get straight into the video. Now first of all, before you even think about buying any of this shiny stuff, whether it be silver or gold, I would say it's very important to stack some cash. Now hear me out, because those of you that have been stacking for any length of time will know that the reason we convert our fiat currency into this shiny stuff in the first place is to help protect its spending power from inflation. And we all know that if you hold on to cash, it is slowly getting eaten away by inflation every single year. And that is one of the main reasons many of us convert our fiat currency into any asset, is to protect ourselves from inflation and to hopefully grow our wealth over a long period of time. But the problem is, if you don't stack cash before you stack precious metals, if you ever have a bill, an unexpected bill, or you lose your job, or your car breaks down, or whatever it may be, and you don't have any cash put to one side, and you're forced to sell this stuff early, then you're actually going to lose more money by selling this stuff early than if you would have just left it in a bank and inflation would have slowly eaten it away over the years. Because inflation eats your spending power or your buying power of fiat currency by about 3% every single year. Now that number does go up and down, but on average it's around about 3%. However, if you're forced to sell your silver early because you haven't got any cash, any backup fund, any emergency cash when these unexpected bills arise, then you're actually going to lose a lot more by selling this stuff, because you're going to lose the premium. If you brought this stuff brand new, you're going to lose the 20% VAT that silver has in the UK. And you're not going to be able to recoup the costs, especially if silver has had a little bit of a pullback over the last few months. You're actually going to be worse off than if you was to actually hold cash in a bank. So that is the first thing that I would say to new stackers, or those people that are trying to rebuild their stack from scratch. Make sure you have some cash. Now, you don't have to leave it in cash. You don't have to leave it in your bank. You don't have to let inflation erode that cash over the period that you're holding it. You can put it into premium bonds or any type of government issued bonds. Now, when you're putting your cash into bonds, you can earn around about 2 to 3% interest. So not only is it sitting there in case you need it, it's also slowly growing over time. And that 2 or 3% interest is actually combating the inflation. Now that is not going to help grow your money. If you have money sitting around in bonds, you're not actually going to grow your money, because although on paper it looks like it's growing, like I said, all it's doing is really protecting itself from inflation and inflation eating away at it. So as long as you don't just have your cash sitting in a bank account and you move it into bonds, that is what I would suggest you do before you even start buying your first pieces of silver, because then you have some backup reserves, you have some cash reserves. And if you do have these unexpected bills or a change of circumstances when you have to leave your job, whatever it may be, you know that you have that money to go into, instead of having to break into this and actually lose money by doing it. So that is the first step. Save up a war chest, a backup fund, an emergency fund, whatever you want to call it. And some people that'll be easier than others to do. Some people like buying precious metals because they like converting their fiat currency as quickly as possible into a physical asset to get it away from them being able to spend it. But you do really have to have some willpower. You really have to change your whole mindset. Once you start investing, you need to accept that you are going to have to put some money aside. You are going to have to leave it and not touch it. And that does come easier to some people than others. But the reality is, investing is not easy. It is a tricky journey, and there's lots of things you need to overcome along the way. And the very first one is completely adjusting your mindset and trying to move away from impulse buying and actually trying to accumulate some cash on the side. So the next thing is actually buying the silver. Now for me, I have learned a lot of things about what silver you should be buying over the years. And one thing I've definitely learned is this silver with the unique designs on it is really hard to part with. It's really hard to sell this stuff, because when you're buying this stuff with unique and interesting and fun designs on it, it's not like your standard Britannias or your standard generic silver. You really do have quite a lot of emotion attached to these coins. And that is actually a big problem. Whenever you have emotion attached to any of your investments, it becomes a problem, because emotion should be put to one side when you're investing in any market. And when you're buying these things because they've got fancy designs on them, your emotion comes into it. You're picking it up because you like how it looks. And therefore, when you come to sell in the future, it is very hard to part with some of this stuff. So I would recommend, when you first start, and this is a mistake that I made when I first started stacking. When I first started stacking, I was buying lots of fancy designs, and I was going out of my way to search designs and rounds and coins that I hadn't got in my collection. And I was paying more of a premium by doing that as well. So not only was I buying things that had an emotional attachment to them, I was also paying more for the luxury of it having a fancy design on it. So I'd recommend, when you first start stacking, go back to the basics. And many of us have lots of standard Britannias in our stacks now, because we've learned from our journey of stacking that this is the stuff to go to. But this is really the stuff that you should be starting out with, your standard 1 ounce silver Britannias. So that leads me nicely on to the third point and the third step of rebuilding or growing a stack from the start. And that is, buy your silver pre-owned. Find a reliable marketplace. I always say to people, try Stackers Social. It's a Discord group that I created alongside the Stack Collector and the Sound Man. And we created it in 2023. So it's been running for quite a few years now. And it has a very successful marketplace. And you can pick up silver in there a lot cheaper than if you was to go and buy it brand new from a bullion dealer. Now let's move on to point number 4. Now point number 4 is poured silver, collectible silver, and like we touched on a minute ago, the silver that just has different designs, fancy pictures on it. Now this stuff has a place in everyone's stack, and I think this stuff becomes more important as your stacking journey progresses. This is the stuff that helps keep this hobby interesting. If all you're doing is buying tubes of this stuff and slowly building monster boxes, very quickly it becomes mundane and boring. I've often compared your standard Britannias to an index fund. Those of you that invest in the stock market will understand what I mean by an index fund. But if you're buying the S&P 500 or even an all-world index fund every single month, after a while it becomes very boring, very mundane. Yes, it's the best way to do things. It's the safest way in terms of growth. But that is why people start picking individual stocks alongside their slow and steady growing index portfolios, just to keep it more interesting. And that is very similar to the more collectible pieces. This is your individual stocks. This is your index funds. And this is why I think it still holds a place. These things, these poured pieces, these more higher premium things, they do definitely hold an important part of your stacking journey, because it's what keeps you going. It's what keeps you buying silver over and over again. It keeps you excited about this stuff because you enjoy hunting out these higher premium pieces that have fancy designs on them, or going to some of your favorite pouring artists and picking up poured pieces of silver. But that should be brought once in a blue moon, maybe once a month, maybe not even as frequent as that, maybe even once a year or once every 6 months, just to help keep the stacking journey interesting. But you mainly want to focus on this stuff. Buy as much of this stuff for as cheap as possible and put it away. Don't have a short-term mindset on this stuff. Plan for minimum 5, even 10 years to hold this stuff, because if you plan to sell any sooner, then you might end up losing quite a large amount of money, especially if you've not taken step 1 seriously and saved up some cash. Because if you're forced to sell this stuff quickly and you have to go to a bullion dealer, they're going to offer you spot or even under spot. So you're going to lose all of those premiums straight away. The best way to liquidate this stuff, which is number 5 that we're going to move on to now, point number 5, always have a place to liquidate in mind. Because at the end of the day, we're buying this stuff to be able to convert it back into fiat in the future to maybe help us retire, maybe buy a house, maybe buy a couple of houses to rent out as investments, whatever it may be. Eventually, we plan to convert this stuff back into fiat one way or another. Now, most of us say we're never going to convert it back into fiat. It's going to be passed on to my children, my children's children. But the reality is, it's very easy to say that now. But when it comes to the stages in your life, when you come to retire, most people are going to rely on this stuff to help fund their retirement. So this is why step 5 is very important. You need to find a marketplace where you can sell this stuff and not have to take it into a bullion dealer and accept spot or slightly less. And that is why, in my opinion, it is quite important to sell little pieces along the way to build up your reputation within the community. Because if you hold this stuff for 10 years and you never have sold any, and when it comes to retirement, or like I said, whatever it may be, you might want to buy an investment property or even buy your own house, pay off the rest of your mortgage, and you want to sell this stuff on the second-hand market, and you haven't built that reputation up over those last 10 years, it's going to be very, very hard to sell. So I would say, even if you're not in a position where you're ready to sell this stuff, just sell a little piece here and there along the way. Maybe sell 1 or 2 ounces every single year. And I think that is often very overlooked. And I do see it quite often where people have been stacking for 20 to 25 years, and then they suddenly want to sell, and they maybe approach myself or one of the other co-founders, one of the moderators in Stacker Social, and they say, look, I've got 200 ounces, I've been saving all my life in silver, and I really need to liquidate now because I'm looking to leave my job or retire early, and I want to start living off this stuff. And we have to say to them, well, we can't let you sell straight away in the community because you haven't got a reputation. No one knows who you are. We can't risk the community being scammed because we don't know who you are. We haven't seen your name on the platform before. And this becomes very tricky because that person then is forced to use another platform like eBay where they charge really high fees, or like I said, go to a bullion dealer and liquidate for spot or slightly less. So always have in mind throughout your stacking journey that you need to start slowly building that reputation along the way. Now we're going to wrap the video up there because I don't want to overcomplicate things, but I do think those 5 points are very, very important. And this video is definitely going to be useful for anyone, like I said, that is just starting out or rebuilding their stack. Please just take the time to watch this video, make notes if you want to throughout, and I guarantee you, and those people that have been stacking for any length of time will probably back me up in the comments section of this video and say that every single point, if followed along your journey, you're going to be in a very, very strong position at the end of it, and you're going to be ahead of many other people because maybe they haven't followed these steps. Maybe they haven't got that emergency fund and they had to sell at a loss. Maybe they haven't been buying Britannias and suddenly they've got loads of silver that they're going to have to pay capital gains tax on when they sell it. Maybe they haven't built up that reputation within the community and built up their feedback system so they have somewhere to be able to sell it easily. Or maybe they've just focused on poured pieces and pieces with fancy designs, and when it comes to sell, they realise that it's harder than they thought to part with this stuff because 1, they want a high premium back on it, and 2, because they're emotionally attached to it. I would find it very hard to sell anything from this box because everything has a fancy design on it, and I brought it because I liked it. Whereas if I'm looking to sell my standard Britannias, I can just close my eyes and grab a handful of Britannias and liquidate these pieces very, very easily. No emotion attached to it whatsoever. No thinking or thought process goes into it because they're all the same. So make sure that your main stack is the index fund of silver, and that is your standard country's bullion coin, and have some fun on the side to keep the hobby interesting. Thanks for watching.